So, we often talk about how you can make sure you get invited for an interview, but what do you do when you're in an interview process and you suddenly realize, I don't want this job? And now all you can think is, how do I get myself out of the interview process without getting myself blacklisted and without everyone hating me? So, I had this with a client a few weeks ago. Because we've done all the prep work and getting really clear on exactly what it is she wants and what she doesn't want, it was very easy for her to see after a few interviews, yeah, this role in this company actually doesn't align with my career aspirations. So I took her through the steps on how she could remove herself from the process while still keeping good relationships with everyone she had spoken to. So I'm going to explain how you can also do this so that this doesn't have to be something that worries you. Before we talk about how you can pull yourself out of the process, I just want to let you know it's perfectly okay and it's perfectly normal if you realize after a few interviews, I don't want this job. An interview process, it is a two-way street. Yes, the company is assessing you, but you are also assessing the company. That is the point of an interview. And trust me, a company would much rather you remove yourself from the interview process than A, have 10 interviews, read an offer, and then pull yourself out, or B, accept a job that you don't actually want, only to leave the company in a few months' time. Yes, of course, they'll be disappointed because in their mind, you were potentially the solution to all their problems. But I promise you, they would much rather you remove yourself from the process than feel you have to continue just to save face or that you're worried about upsetting them. So now that's out of the way, let's talk about how you can actually remove yourself from the interview process. If you're working with a recruiter, so you're working with a recruitment agency, you must inform the recruiter first. That recruiter has built a long standing relationship with those companies, and it's important that they are aware of what's going on and also, most likely, that they deliver the message to their client. They are the one who are going to keep this really long standing relationship going. So you must let them make that first conversation to inform the client that you're going to be pulling out. So contact your recruiter and let them know why you want to remove yourself from the interview process. Always be thankful that they introduced you and thank them for their time. It's about being polite, but just let them know why the role isn't quite right. Let them know you don't want to waste anyone's time, so you feel it's better you remove yourself from the process now rather than have any more interviews and waste anyone else's time. Let the recruiter then contact the company and inform them that you will be removing yourself from the process. Once they have done that, then you can send an email to everyone you've spoken with, thanking them for their time and wishing them all the best. When it comes to the recruiter, sometimes people worry if I do that, the recruiter won't put me forward for any other interviews. That is actually not the case. Recruiters spend a lot of time building up relationships with their clients. There is always this slight fear that when you introduce a candidate to a client, that maybe something goes terribly wrong and the client calls them saying, "Why did you send this person to me? That interview was a disaster." If you have had an interview with one of their clients and you've had good feedback, so the client wants to take you further in the process, you have proven to the recruiter you're really good. If they have future opportunities with other clients, they're much more likely to introduce you. So don't worry that the recruiter won't put you forward for anything else. And also now they're clearer on what you want. So they now know if they find the right job, very likely you will get hired. If you aren't working with a recruiter, but you're working directly with the company, the process is pretty much the same. You want to reach out to the person you've had most contact with. So most likely that will be HR or a recruiter. And again, you want to thank them for their time and explain why you don't want to move forward in the process. Always keep it positive. They don't want to hear you bashing their company. So let them know it was a really amazing experience and you found it so insightful and inspiring meeting other people from the team, but you have actually realized that what you're looking for is this. And unfortunately, the role doesn't quite match. And again, you don't want to waste anyone's time, so you feel it's better that I remove myself now rather than taking up any more valuable time that could be used to interview someone else. They will respect this about you. Again, let that person, the recruiter or HR, contact everyone in the interview team and inform them you are pulling out. Again, you want to send an email to everyone that you spoke with, thanking them for their time and wishing them all the best. When you approach it this way, there is no way you're going to get blacklisted. There's no way anyone's going to hate you. As I say, it's perfectly normal, and companies will respect the fact that you're being truthful and that you're being honest rather than taking up their valuable time or potentially accepting a job that doesn't actually align with what you want and only to leave a few months later. So if you follow these steps, you will have no problem at all. So I wish you all the best if you're pulling yourself out of any recruitment processes, and I wish you all the luck for all your future interviews.